Hello and welcome to Vandal Esports. Tonight is February 9th and we have a League of Legends match right now against Texas A&M and our JV. So last week, Texas A&M lost their opener 2-0, much like our team did. So that means that we're relatively matched. However, there are hopes for the Vandals winning tonight.
Hopes is an understatement.
Hopes?
Oh,
Oh,
hopes is an understatement. I have confidence.
yeah. Okay.
JV scrimmed against varsity last night for funsies.
Oh,
Yeah, because that's what we do on Thursday nights.
fun.
Some people do homework on Thursday nights. We scrim on Thursday nights.
So, seeing some improvement there, that's giving you confidence?
Definite improvement off of both sides. Due to some exams, JV wasn't a full squad last night because
That makes sense.
7 p.m. exams are awful and should not exist.
Oh, yeah, my friend actually had a calculus exam last night at 7.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Yep. I think it was also calculus for both of them. So
Probably.
I actually got to play some games with my teams.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and I didn't get completely murdered. I played opposite our varsity top laner, who is very close to me, and I didn't get completely murdered.
Yeah.
So
Success. All right, so we have Prestige Empyrean Cassante.
it's a skin.
I figured.
Yes. Yeah, you want
I
to
was-
run down who we have?
I just lost all the characters, but I believe there's Lux in there. Unless that's that's...
There is
The
not
other
a
side.
Lux.
No, I was looking on this side.
Still not a Lux.
I apologize.
Can I ask production to hit O on the keyboard for me? Yeah, you're wonderful. Thank you.
Even though we can't see that, but it's
We
fine.
can't see half of it, but we can imagine that we can. The viewers can. The viewers can now see the leaderboard.
Yes.
We're running pretty standard comp for us. We've got a Cassante top lane. Those of you who are joining us last semester may remember the username. That is Jedi Ninjas. He was my varsity mid laner last season. He decided to take a step, play a different role, and try top lane.
Okay, so a
um,
step down into
A step
JV.
down in level to play a different lane.
And that's strategic. You don't want to keep playing the same, at the same level with a position you're not familiar with.
Exactly. Like, you're a
So-
worst player at that level. Yeah. In jungle, we've got Nocturne, a classic pick. That's Bongus. That's our very own Aiden. Don't ask how I roped him into joining JV. We're not going to worry about it.
Got it.
In mid lane, we've got another classic pick out of Zach, who's our mid laner. It's a Nico pick. Classic Nico. I love me a Nico. Bot lane, we're running an Ashe Rel combo. We've seen a lot of Misfortune Leona combos coming out in practice, but they have the Leona.
Okay.
So we're bringing the same idea in comp of damage and tankier support. So we'll see how that goes. On the Texas A&M side, we've got a Garen in the top lane, a Nunu and Willump in the jungle. We're going to be looking to see that Nunu and Willump get speedy with her snowballs and all of that. We've got a Seraphine in the mid lane. Seraphine's a traditional support, but Nico can also be played support. So we're kind of seeing the battle of support mid lanes in there just a little bit. And then ADC support, we have the Jinx Leona combo. A very similar idea to what we run in our backline. Again, the damage, the tankier CC support. So bot lane is going to be a big question of who can execute better for the most part. And we're also going to be looking to see the junglers coming into play there. Nocturne has quite a bit better early game gank ability. Gankage is not a word.
Gankage is not a word. No.
I can pretend it is. The Nocturne has way better gank ability. Seeing some damage going down in top lane. Your very traditional trades. Cassante getting it down. The advantage we have to Truman is he really knows his limits in that lane. Getting the good combo down, Zach is, and Seraphine not really able to respond. We're seeing some good trading. As I was saying, in the jungle, Nocturne has the better gank ability early game.
Okay.
He's got a little bit more CC. He's got a little bit more damage and lifesteal. Nunu's massive damage is her Blizzard level 6. and she gets tankier and she gets speedier. She scales arguably better late game. So it's going to be interesting to see if Bongus. God, I can't call him that. I can't take myself seriously. It's going to be Aiden. I can't take Bongus seriously. Again,
Okay. I say very interesting names all the time. I think you can handle Bongus.
Okay, to be fair, I did make you say Honda Civic Abuser multiple times last semester, and I would like to humbly apologize for that.
You can handle Bongus, I promise. It's not that bad.
Still, even across the board, 4 minutes in, relatively even in gold as well, which means that our CS gaps are even across the map. Going to be a lot of trading. This means one of two things. Either it means that we're going to... Really, what it most likely means is that the jungles are going to be your deciding factor. They start adding pressure to lanes, getting those picks. Or it means that as teams scale, we're going to see some difference. Zach landing those shots again. He's actually also trying out a different lane. He was not on my varsity squad. He was... Oh, good damage going down. Unfortunately, targeting the tankier support of the champs. Gonna take a lot more to go down in that direction.
Is that person healing right now?
Yeah. Healing potions.
I hate it when they do that.
Summoner heals the worst. You think you have them, and then they heal 200 hit points, and suddenly you don't have them. Oh, the flash going down the damage. That's going to be first blood to Zach. It does cost his flash and his ignite. He did not need the ignite. He had the damage. He wanted the ignite just to be safe on the off chance that something didn't work out great. So that is both summoners used, but it's level 6. It's most likely going to turn into a plate. It's a great early kill. As I was saying, Zach is not a mid player. He is actually a support player. So you're going to see in his champs a lot of those supportier mids and ones that play similarly to that. Nico, I play Nico. I'm a big Nico lover. I'm a big Nico lover in support. I'm a big Nico lover in mid. She's very versatile. The advantage she has over other champs. Red team is getting the early Void Grubs. They were up a little early. I like taking first Void Grubs, but Bongus learning from last week, playing it very, very safe. And, oh, we're going to see some ult starting to come out from top lane here. Both backed and used their teleports at the same time. This is a very evenly matched top lane right now. We knew it was going to be. This is really the fight of the bruisers. Getting the damage down on the Jinx, getting stunned by the Rooted, but still getting that damage down, taking advantage of the fact that Leon is not there. I do want to draw your attention to the Nocturne closing in on the bot lane, and now he's getting pinched in the mid lane. Damage going down, taking a turret shot, top lane, used flash to get back behind that turret, gets the kill. That is unfortunate. However, had the Nunu coming up, so that kill was going to get secured either way. Is what it is. Not much panning out bot lane at the moment.
So what's going on with Bongus and the Void Grubs again?
Yeah, I get distracted.
That's fine. That's what I'm here for.
Generally speaking, since the new patch, first Void Grubs is far more important than first Drake. Especially we're seeing, I believe that's a Cloud Drake. Not that I don't know my Drakes, just that the icon is really tiny and on the opposite side from me. I do believe that is a Cloud Drake we're seeing. Whereas movement speed, damage going down in the bot lane. Again, on that tankier support, but getting the flash out, getting the damage down, looking now to pivot to the Jinx. Getting some good damage down, tankier support coming in, but tankier support is no good. Getting the flash out, getting the engage, getting the next flash out. Ooh, that's one. That's going to be an ignite down on the ADC, trying to get the damage down and avoid. That's going to be a very tight shutdown, but Hood should clean that up easily. It's a 2-for-1 trade in our favor in the bot lane. We would have liked to see both of those kills go to the ADC, just because that's generally how you want it to go. But we'll take giving Dom the kill. We will gladly take it.
As long as it happens, I'm okay. But I get why ADC.
You want the ADCs to have it, but I'd rather have a kill than no kill.
That's what I was trying to say.
Back to Void Grubs. Maybe we'll stop it enough in the action so I can actually finish my thought. First Void Grubs are, generally speaking, more important than first Drake. It is Cloud Drake. However, Aiden Bongus learned a lot last week, was out of position, was a little too over-aggressive. I will say it's a testament to him in general that he's here on the JV squad. He started playing the game very recently, and I've kind of thrown him in and asked him to do a lot. And I would rather us lose some Void Grubs and him not go 0-5 or whatever. Oh my god. Sorry. While we're ignoring top lane, we're looking at Drake. Red team gets it easily. But I just want to draw attention. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see it, to the number of wards they have in that pit. They have, I think, 2 control wards and a normal ward in that pit. That is an obscene amount of vision. And each control ward is 75 gold. You need 1, great play, good call. 2, okay, did you fat finger and not talk to each other? Like,
Probably.
probably.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, but on stealth wards, which don't cost you anything. It's an obscene amount of vision in that pit.
Nice.
Tavian Array doing some really good poke damage on Ashe. Both Ashe and Jinx scale very well off of their attack speed. Truman hiding in a bush, getting the damage down, trying to get something, getting the flash, and they're flying across the map. That is Cassante ult is what it is.
Oh, and he's trying to run
Garen's
away.
trying to run away. Garen doesn't have an outskill button, running towards the jungler, getting airborne, getting blasted out. So now Truman has to run away. That's the Nunu ult we were talking about, the damage. There's the Bongus ult coming in. That's 1. Cassante still getting the damage down on that Nunu, having to get the Nunu flash. And getting out of there with very low hit points, but very well played out of a tankier champion. Mid lane,
Nice job to Bongus for coming in
it was good.
assistance.
His ult has slightly longer range than what he used it for, so he could have gone in a little earlier, but they didn't see the jungler coming, and he was inclined to let his top lane handle it. And we're getting second Void Grubs here, so we'll be at 3 and 3 on Void Grubs, which if you lose first Void Grubs is really where you want to be.
Okay.
Because the big advantage is, ooh, Jinx Mega Death Rocket coming, looking for that Cassante who's low, going across the map, going to completely miss everything.
Darn.
Not darn, that's Texas A&M. We don't want them to hit.
Oh, sorry. I mixed up my champions. I thought that was our miss.
I will say, if Texas A&M hit that, that would be 1 for the highlight reel. We were talking about highlight reels in chat last night, and I was like, I can remember one that left Phoenix from when I was casting with him completely speechless. But I don't remember whether that was our highlight reel or the other team's highlight reel. You know, part of the joy of the game is admiring the good plays.
That's true.
Obviously, I want us to win, which we're doing a very good job early game.
But like, skill is just so easy to admire.
Skill is so easy to admire, and a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
Those free-ranged skill shots that you hurl across the map, the Jinx ult, the Ashe ult, the Briar ult, if it hits across the map,
You're just like,
okay, I meant to do that.
totally. Totally meant that.
I don't think Zach thought he was going to hit that route because he didn't follow it up. Still seeing some good poke. We're about 1,000 gold up. It's 1K now. And we're only 600 up in gold, so that means that we're also winning up in kill gold.
Oh,
so that means that we're also winning in general. Top lane, most of our lanes are still tit for tatting. The really beautiful thing that I can't highlight enough is the restraint being shown from Aiden. Nocturne, Warwick, the champions he plays, they are very much your in-your-face engage, and it's very easy to overextend with them and end up feeding. And you think, well, this next time it'll be different. I know I play Warwick in Nocturne. I had a game like that this morning. Yeah, we don't worry about that.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do that, and we saw it a lot last week. He was out of position. He was running by himself. He was nowhere near fed enough to do that. Jedi getting the damage down on that, getting the level 10, actually behind in levels, going tit for tat. Do have to be careful. Garen's ult does have an execute, so if he has it up, you don't have your full health bar to work with like you wish you would. It's one of those ults that's just annoying because you have to kind of try and guess. Truman trying to play in turret range just a little bit, not loving it. Truman, last semester's team was very good at knowing when to push and when to pull. League is very much a game of give and take. If you try and push all the time, it's not working. So Truman really doing that, giving me really bad anxiety with it, but doing it very well. And I can't see farm. Looks like Nocturne is a little down in farm. On the pet, has a little bit less in itemage across the board. But I would like to point out that he has a completed item, whereas Nunu has bits and bobs of items. And Nunu's prioritizing.
And how big of a difference is partial
I say that
items?
as Nunu finishes an item.
Oops.
Oh,
That's fun.
oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I think you just got doxxed.
It's fine. What happened was teams popped up, and so we should be able to alt tab in here in a second. In the meantime, I guess. Hey, we're back. And doesn't look like we missed much.
Yeah, nope, pretty much the same. It looks like they're catching up in gold though. Unfortunate.
It's it's a 700 difference. We've got the 300. Can we move the mouse so we get it back to directed camera, please? Just wait. It'll go in a couple seconds. 2, 1. We're good. Now we can actually see the action again. We're back. My apologies for that. We can all blame Microsoft Teams for that one.
Love that.
How dare our boss get a Microsoft Teams message in the middle of a game?
I know. Absolutely ridiculous.
Texas A&M does get second Drake. We're going to be looking at Chemtech Soul. What I don't love about that is we couldn't decide whether or not we wanted to go in on it, which means that we lost a lot in general. We didn't get Drake, but we didn't get any extra minions or anything like that. Going back to items, I think part of the main difference we're seeing in gold actually is that Cull on that Jinx gives extra gold for the first 100 minions. So she's finished rocking that. So I think that's the major difference we're seeing in gold. Going back to items, it really helps having the completed item. It just strengthens everything that's within it.
Okay.
We see Jinx with the attack speed, trying to get some damage down, just pushing back off that turret. Dominic was. We're 15 minutes in. We have seen games finish faster than this. You were with me last season when we saw the 16-minute game, when we saw the 18-minute games. Like,
I remember those, but I'm more okay. I know it's not the usual, but I'm used to like the 20 to 22 minute league games. But I know that that's not how long they usually are. They're usually
a
like
solid hard fought game is 30 to 40. A slog is 40 to 50. And that is, oh my God, can somebody finish, please? I don't care who wins anymore. I just want this to be over. Because at that point, your respawn timers are a minute. And so because respawn timers scale with how late in the game you are. So by the time you hit about the 40-minute mark, your respawn timers are a minute. So you die in an epic team fight, but it's a team fight where like 4 or 5 are dead. Nunu ganking top lane, trying to get the damage down. Getting the damage down, getting the flash out of the stun, and getting out of the blizzard. Really well done. Aiden coming in. Not needed. Gonna take the bat. Gonna be safe. Burned a little bit to get out of that. But Garen used his flash going in on that. So it's a flash for a flash, a tit for a tat. A tit for tat. Tit for tat. That is the saying.
Yes.
I got hung up on the first word.
Anyway, moving back to the jungle with Bong. With opponent jungler.
Yeah. Still moving through. We're 17 minutes in, but by the time you get there, it is just, you get an epic team fight if you're really well matched at that point. You have an amazing team fight, and 4 members on each team are dead, and it's like that for a minute, and the one remaining guy usually ends up being the support and is like, I have no push power. I guess I stand here for a minute until everybody's back. And then everybody's back, and you're right back where you started.
Oof.
And you're like, well, that was a minute of my life I'm never getting back.
So much fun.
We love the game.
Shelly.
Yes, early first Shelly. Kind of sad we only see 1 instead of 2. So, again, we lost the first 2 Drakes. Infernal Soul hurts a little bit. Cloud Soul... sorry, not Soul. Drake. Infernal Drake hurts a little bit. Cloud Drake doesn't feel amazing on the Nunu. But Rift Herald is going to feel a heck of a lot better. Not only are we very much in stalemate in the lanes, we're in a stalemate with the turrets. We're 18 minutes in, not a turret has fallen yet. Most of them still above half health. So that, oh my God, Seraphine ult going down. Nico ulting to get out of it. Really well played, getting the Seraphine flash and getting the damage down. It was a flash for a flash on that side. Ignite still up, and it was an ult for an ult. But the amount, oh my God, getting ganked in on the bot side is that Noon Nico. Does not have the health to survive the Nunu damage. Still alive. Getting the Ignite out, pulling out as many summoners as he possibly can. First death, still 1 for 1. But very few turret plates gotten when they were still up for that gold, and just it's a slog. The bonus, the nice part is we should be able to take with Rift Herald. We should be able to take first turret. That's gonna be a nice little gold advantage. We're gonna see where it ends up getting dropped. Mid. It depends on the priority. Again, we're in a stalemate. Not much is happening. We're 19 minutes in and there are 7 kills.
Which one would you prefer, though? Do you think it would be most beneficial in top lane or?
I think I don't think any specific lane is going to make a difference.
Okay.
You know, like the joke always is that mid lane's the straightest lane to the Nexus. So you see rifts in mid a lot more than you would. Oh, first turret going down on that double back. Jinx is going to take it. I stand corrected. First turret goes to Texas A&M. Third Drake about to be up. Nunu on the wrong side of the map. Nocturne circling. We're going to see if they want to take this. But look at all that vision that Texas A&M has around that dragon pit. And none top side really far. Ashe ult. Nocturne ult. Getting the flashes. Getting the damage down. Getting even more. That's the Rel ult.
Whoa.
One. Nocturne unfortunately rooted in, but it's a 1-for-1. Without the Nocturne, I don't think they're going to be able to go for drag. I do believe that was a push either for Rift Herald in the bot lane or that third drag. We'll see where it goes. Up 2-1 right now. Nico getting charmed and getting damage down, but Seraphine doesn't. Seraphine's a support. She doesn't have quite the oomph. Nunu going in on the top lane. Gonna see if Truman can get out of this one. Does not have flash up. Nunu burns flash on it. Unstoppable, rooted. All the damage going down. And look at all that health. He is running away, playing it very safe. And he's gonna look to turn and fight now. Because Nunu's getting away. She's gonna leave the Garen to herself. Okay, no, going in a circle. Going in a circle. That's the outplay button that we were talking about on the Garen. Unfortunate. Would have been safer to stay under turret.
That's actually what I was just about to say. I was like, why didn't he circle back under turret when
it's Truman?
Oh. Okay.
He thought he could. Cassante thought he could. Getting some good damage down on that turret. Going back to your earlier question of where I want to see Rift, I want to see Rift in a lane that we have priority in that is getting pushed.
Okay.
You know, there is some belief.
Oh, they're going for Drake.
They
now.
are going for Drake. Bongus on the completely wrong side of the map. So I don't think we're going to be able to challenge this smart play that I don't think we're going to take. We are not taking. There are 4 of them. We can't take this. Smart play would be to keep pushing bot lane, see if you can get that turret.
And that is third Drake for them. How is that going to affect late game?
It actually depends.
Okay.
There is something to be said for you lost first Drake, you lost second Drake. Instead of trying to make it a 7 Drake game where you're on soul point the entire time and one team has 3 and one team has 4, which at this rate would take another 30 minutes. There's something to be said for saying, you know what, we'll let them have the 4th one. We'll let them have Chemtech. Soul helps. Every little bit helps, obviously. I'm not saying that. Cloud Soul would be way worse. There are worse souls that you could give that team comp. So maybe you say, hey, let's give them the Chemtech and let's wait for Elder. Elder is far better than any soul. It's like your Baron buff. So
okay,
there's definitely something to be said for the idea behind just
waiting for Elder.
Concede it, give it to Elder, get other objectives, focus on getting your team fight stronger. I don't know if we're going to do that, but we might.
We might.
There's
the chance. But we are equal in kills now, and they do have the gold advantage.
They do.
They have a lot over us at the moment, but you know what? It's still very close.
It is. And we're about to start seeing Rift Herald. Did he
in bot lane?
It'll go into bot lane. I think it expired and he had to drop it. Somebody is most likely going to get in and ride it. He's going to push it, and we are going to have a rider, and he's going to ride it straight into the wall. I'm as embarrassing as that was to watch, and it's not going to get a charge in turret, and that is a wasted rift, and that is what I did not want to see. As embarrassing as that looked,
yeah,
I will say it's not as easy to steer as you think. I dropped it at one point. I was playing a game last night, and I dropped it, and I got in it, and I thought it was going the right direction. It was going the opposite way, and I had to try and corner, and a giant Rift Herald does not corner very well. It's like you're driving a boat trying to do a turn. It didn't. I pulled it off. I don't know how I pulled it off. But I pulled it off. So
it's difficult.
I am gonna say it's not as easy. Seeing the Nico getting good damage down on that Jinx.
What was that poke?
Nico.
Oh, okay.
Nico's poke is awful in the
I
best
saw
way.
I saw that.
And Nico poke, if played properly, is going to go very well into that Jinx. So we did see a lane rotation. We saw Seraphine rotate over into the bot lane and Jinx rotate over into the mid lane. Most likely looking to get Jinx some solo XP, get her leveled up a little bit more. In the team fight, she's going to start trying to be that win condition. We're going to start getting to the team fights here pretty soon. Ideally, I thought we were going to get... See, if this was varsity, we'd have been there for 14 minutes. We'd have been in an out-and-out slog since minute 10. That's how they play. That's how their ELO plays. I mean, it's how it is.
But this is a different team, so
it's a different
team. Different play style.
We do. And it's one that Texas A&M is more than willing to indulge.
Yep.
And that's part of it, is if one team forces an earlier mid-game, then you kind of have to go for it. And you have to oblige. So both teams right now very content to corner snowballs into not enemies and instead walls. But
so much fun.
Okay, cornering with the snowballs also about as hard as cornering with Rift. I will say that I promise they're not drunk drivers. It really is as hard as it looks.
I don't doubt that, honestly. It makes me think of driving a ship in, like, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's about that bad. Or driving a muscle car in GTA.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like when I say it has the handling of a boat, I mean it has the handling of a boat. Damage going down, Cassante coming down. It's going to be a 3v4, but there comes the Nocturne ult in on the back line. Great.
Is this a team?
This is a team fight. This is our first 4v4. Trying to get the damage down on the back line. Nocturne getting picked off. It's okay. It's okay. He tried. Cassante ending up in a 1v2. And Jinx just pelting down that damage. She was low. There's the kill we needed, plus the 350 gold shutdown on the Cassante. That's going to feel really good right about now. The problem is, can Cassante get out of there? There's the Ashe ult. That takes guts. There's the Nico coming back in, re-engaging, taking the advantage of the Cassante. Nico ult going down, hitting 2. Gorgeous. There's another kill down onto that tankier Leona. Garen going to get shredded by the Ashe. So that ends up really turning in our favor. I believe that was a 3-for-1 if I can count. I'm pretty sure I can. Plus a couple of very nice shutdowns.
That was insane.
You know, I had been trying to segue myself into talking about how we were going to see team fights look for like the longest time.
But
and I hadn't found it. But that.
Yeah.
The big win con.
Oh, and we're getting a Drake.
We are getting a Drake. So we are opting to take the prio, get the Drake. Jinx, coming in from really far away. Also shout out to her for hitting that. Arguably might have taken Baron there. There was enough, I might have taken Baron there. Baron's going to be a little bit more helpful than Drake, but we didn't want them getting Soul. Took that off the map. It takes a lot more team cohesion to take Baron than it does to take a Drake. So not necessarily the play I would have gone, but I know Truman's shot calling that because that's why he's on the team. So we'll see. As we slide into team fights, Texas A&M really going to be looking for that Jinx.
And they got
Jinx gets massive attack speed and movement speed boosts on a kill or a turret like you just saw. So it is entirely possible for Jinx to take 1 and then 2 and then 3 and for it to snowball very, very quickly. We saw the Nocturnal going in on the Jinx. We saw Cassante running at great impact to his health, might I add, running down that Jinx. But the second she was out of the picture, we were able to turn it around. So we're going to be looking to hide the Ashe, who also very heavily scales off of attack speed. Those quick arrows hurt very quickly when they come out. We're going to be looking to see both of that. It's really... It's almost going to come down to... Oh my god, that was gorgeous. You don't even understand how pretty that was. Truman went into the new ult, because that was new ult, which does a lot of damage if she channels it all the way. He saw his Demolish proc was up. He knew he had the abilities. He went in, got the Demolish proc, and then pulled himself out.
Without taking too much damage.
Without taking the Blizzard hit. Seeing a
was
mid-fight
insane.
in the damage, there's the Jinx going down, gonna get picked off. Nocturne looking for something, needs to get out of there if he's not careful. Also Nunu coming in. So we're definitely transitioning into team fights. We did take our first turret in the bot lane to match. Mid lane turret is also pretty low.
Okay.
So we're pretty evenly matched in
It looks
turrets.
like we did switch lanes around.
We are swapping over just a little bit. Cassante getting 4v1. But look at how much it's taking to get his health down. Coming in, getting the support, gonna get out without any kills. We're gonna be looking to be hiding behind that Cassante like we just did. I mean, that was 4 of them wailing on him for a solid 10 seconds. And, like, nothing.
Yeah.
Great route coming out of the Zac to get out of the
Garen.
Garen.
That's why he's a tank.
And that's why he's a tank.
Yep.
Really is gorgeous. Looks like they're going to be starting Baron. Risky move to start Baron with all 5 on the map. And Ashe Vision just went out, and we got Vision. We know they're there. The question is, can they take Baron down before we can get there? And if they do,
It's looking like they can.
I think they can, but we're going to be looking for the 5v5 team fight. Nico hits all 5 with the ult. Holy shit, dies for it, but they're all like half health. Even if this doesn't work, which it might not. Cassante popping ult, Nunu ult, all the ults coming in. There's the Nocturne ult coming down, all the flashes. That's 1. I'm shocked there's only been 1 so far. We're going to try and hunt a couple more.
2. Oh, wait, no, you're right.
No, it's only 1. One on each side. Gonna try and hunt somebody else down, get rid of those Baron buffs as fast as we can. And that's going to be Jinx's. That is a huge Baron buff to get rid of. Really beautifully executed. So Garen, Seraphine, and Leona are all going to have their Baron buffs up. I know Zac died in that, and I completely commend him for going, we need to keep them here. They got Baron. When they get Baron, it's not the end of the world, especially if you can 5v5 team fight and still win and still get kills, and then take that Baron buff right away. I've had that happen. I've had a team come in on me and steal it, and then we just win the team fight anyway, and it's like, well, guess nobody gets Baron.
Okay,
like,
so
Baron goes away when you die.
Oh.
So Nunu and Jinx both do not have it, which is huge in the ensuing team fights. Obviously, it would have been better if we had it, but getting it off of those 2 is very, very big.
Okay, what was the Baron buff?
It's increased damage, it's increased gold, and it buffs the minions, which is the really big thing.
Okay.
It buffs the cannon minions so much that they have a really long range, so they can stay out of turret range and shoot a turret. That's really the big thing, is it's really good for that push.
So overall, it's just disgusting to go against and wonderful to have.
Yep.
Okay.
Less awful than Elder to go against, because Elder has execute.
Oh, that's not fun.
Cassante going down, but look at, he's not taking damage. He is into 3 of them, but 4 of them by himself for the most part and not taking damage. The Charm getting hit on the Zac going down trying to ult. That's unfortunate, would have been better had it hit, but we have the Rel ult hitting. We are going to see Leona going down. Cassante standing strong, but the Jinx starting to proc like I was concerned she was.
Oh,
that
no.
hurts.
Triple kill by Jinx.
It's going to be a quad.
Oh, yep.
She has,
Ace.
and that's going to be soul over to them. That was what I cautioned you about with the Jinx. She gets the boosts, and she can start running people down.
Yikes.
It's okay. It's hardly the end of the world.
Yeah.
This Baron push mid, I do want to point out the respawn timers. We are 32 minutes in. These are 30, 40, 50-second respawn timers. There is a lot of damage they can do. Gonna take inhib. Have minions pushing with them, might be able to take a turret. I think they get at least 1. Have Nico coming back now, have Rel coming back. They're going for the finish. They are going for the finish.
I think they might get it.
We've got Ashe up in a second.
Yeah, I think
there's
they're
the
gonna
Nico.
get it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jinx is down. That is huge.
Okay.
There's the rest of the damage. Jinx is down. Nexus barely alive, trying to hit on it. Almost.
Oh, that was so close.
That was so close.
Oh, I kind of figured once they got to that second turret that they'd be going all the way. And that they could.
They were gonna try. If the Cassante respawn timer had been just a little bit faster.
Darn it. That's only first game though.
That is only first game. We've got 2 more. Really, it's when you get to that point, one team fight can do it all, especially with a Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we saw. They did. I mean, that Jinx did 36,000 damage. She did so much
I think
damage.
that's more than our top 3 damage. Oh wait, no, never
No.
mind. I was
It's
looking
not
at
quite
the
that
other one.
bad. It's she did so much damage, and they catered to her exceedingly well. I cannot hate on that Jinx. That is how you're supposed to play Jinx. And we had been doing everything possible to break the back line and
Mhm.
get to her, and it didn't quite work out that time around.
Not quite.
I will say it was a much better game.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to hit any buttons. You're going to cut us to break here in a hot second because I'm thirsty and I need water. And it's League of Legends, so it's going to be like 15 minutes before we're ready for round 2.
Yep.
Yay.
Yes, but I will let everybody know that I do believe we have other games coming up after we're finished casting League. So make sure to stick around for that.
Do you know who we have next? Because I do.
Oh?
We have Counter-Strike against the UW. Right after we finish up
Ooh.
League. And then I believe there was the promise.
I think there's Omega Strikers.
I believe there's the promise of
Yes.
Omega Strikers after CS is looking at this point. But I do know that if you stay tuned after round 2 against Texas A&M and hopefully round 3,
Mhm.
though Wayne is going to kill me if we go to round 3. He told me
But
that
we want round 3.
we want round 3.
We want round 3.
But Wayne
And
was like, they better 2-0 or 0-2. I don't care. It just better happen. And I'm like,
we'd like to win.
we want
But-
to win. I saw a lot there, and we can
Yes.
win.
I think we're against a very well matched team.
We are.
They know their strategies, they know their plays, and they know their champions very well. But you know what? So do we.
Well, we do too.
Yeah,
We do too.
And this can easily turn into our favor. Again, I wouldn't say a significant portion, but close to a significant portion of this game is luck. Like
It's-
where you are matters when something happens.
where you are matters, and there's skill to it, but at the end of the day the skill comes out of predictability.
Mm-hmm.
The traditional jungle clear path, and so you can play around that. And so if you get funky or you do weird things, then all of that goes out the window. It's not luck, it's just mind games to the nth degree.
Fair.
And as a jungler, it's not worth it.
It's not.
It's not. I mean, it can be. It can be really cool when you pull it out and you tilt the other jungler. It really can be. But
For the most part, you want to stick to the traditional jungler
there's
paths.
a reason the traditional path is the traditional path.
Yep.
There's a reason you see all of the pro teams do the exact same clear for the most part. It's consistency because it works. Anywho, I need water. We will be back with round 2 against Texas A&M here pretty soon, I do believe.
Mm-hmm. So make sure you come back. Hello and welcome back from the break. Now we do have some unfortunate news. We do not have the observer for League of Legends, so we will be cutting stream for now. However, we will be coming back for CS and Omega Strikers later. So be sure to keep in tune for that, and have a good night.